Shoot! Hi, I'm the Moorlander and this is Moorlander EDC. Out in the wilderness again today in the Royal Woods to, just walk around my land, and I thought what we'd do is have a look at this pack. Now this is a pack that I've been testing out for quite a while now. You might even have noticed either I'm wearing it or it's been in the background on a few recent pieces of content. I've had this now, and I want to say I've had this for about 6 months. When did I get it? I think it was February, March time, so it's kind of close to that, 4 or 5 months. And I've just been steadily using this as an EDC pack and, seeing what it's about. So what we are here today to look at is the 3-day pack from London Bridge Trading. Now, there's a couple of things I probably want to point out before we get into this. So this is, it's a 30-litre pack, so it's at the point where you're getting, generally you find for EDC it's probably between 20 to 35, so it's one of the larger packs. But this is predominantly a military pack. A lot of the EDC community really tend to veer towards that kind of gear because it's, it's hard wearing. Generally, it's got a larger capacity, even down to modularity, where you've got things like PALS webbing and that sort of stuff, so that you can add to it or take from it. You can do a lot to it. But this isn't the type of pack that's been geared towards the military, but the makers have understood that people want to put a laptop in it, or it needs this, that and the other. This really is for military personnel that I've decided that I want to see how this works as an EDC backpack. So some of the things that you'll be looking at, or we'll be looking at today, you might think that doesn't work for me because it hasn't got X, Y and Z. And that's one of the things that you need to appreciate, especially with a pack like this, that really it's not predominantly or primarily been designed for that EDC use. Although, you can use it for EDC. I've been testing this out, a lot of flies today. I've been testing this out and it is great for EDC, but there's certain features that are missing. This sounds really negative, so what I'll do is let's get into it, because it's actually a great pack and there's a lot of positives for it, because it ticks a lot of the boxes that the EDC community really like. So I'll get the camera turned around. While I'm doing that, if at any point during this video you like it, or even you just find me a bit funny, then please feel free to hit that like button or subscribe. Let's turn this round so that we can have a look at this 3-day pack. So as we usually do, we'll go through the dimensions, some of the materials and the key features of the bag. Now this style of bag, this 3-day pack, there's a few of them in the market out there. Black Hawk do one, Helicon Tex do one as well. It has a very unique shape to it. So if I turn this around, hopefully you'll be able to see here that these bottom 2 corners are actually wider than the top 2 corners here. So I'm going to try not to fumble my way through this, because there's a bit of maths as we go around it. But the overall shape is wider at the bottom than it is at the top. So the overall shape in millimeters, okay, so from top to bottom is 495 millimeters. Across the bottom here is 340 millimeters, and it comes in at a depth of 165 millimeters. So across the bottom, these measurements are actually larger than at the top here, because what it does is it gradually tapers down so that across the top it's 255 millimeters and a depth of 115 millimeters. So like I say, it's a bit different. I'm sure if you're from a military background, please feel free to put in the notes exactly why it tapers like that. I'd certainly be interested to know. But what it does is, especially across the back, rather than having a large footprint that spreads across your shoulders, it just kind of cinches in a little bit close just between your shoulder blades, and it makes it a different carry. It's not uncomfortable, maybe it's not even more comfortable than others, it's just a different type of carry. Then on the front, so that's really this main section here at the back. There are 2 sections of this large main compartment, and there's a front section here, and this too again does taper. So from the top to the bottom, it comes in at 355 millimeters. Across it's 330 millimeters, and then that's got a depth of 76 millimeters. But as it gets closer to the top here, where it starts to taper in, it then goes from the width across as 255mm, and then it's still the same depth at 76mm. Now, I totally had to read that from my notes because there's a lot to remember there, so there you go. You know, we're all human at the end of the day, and my memory's terrible. It ain't what it used to be. So you can definitely get a lot in this. You honestly, you really can, because this is a 30-litre pack. So we're looking on the higher end of what you would class as an EDC backpack, but you can certainly fit a lot into here. Now, as I previously mentioned, I've not been using this for any sort of military exercises or anything like that. I've just took a military backpack and tried to see what I can use this for on an EDC basis. So I put some types of EDC things here. While I was packing it this morning, I thought, you know, what really can I fit in? So again, we'll go around the pack and then we'll see what's inside. So on the front, again, hopefully you'll see that there is this large section. So underneath here, there is a step up. So this bottom part and this top front section kind of sits out from the pack. On this front section you have some PALS webbing so that you can put additional things on the front, and then inside this zip you'll see there is a pocket. So inside here, you know, there's some things that I've brought out with me today. I've got a toolkit for my tripod, a pencil case just in case I need to make any extra notes, and then I think I need to touch on this. So this pack does come with a waistband. Although the pack, let's start with the pack itself is excellent, and I think the way that it's been designed, I think all of the materials that go into it are brilliant. This waist pack is just a little bit meh, and that really is all I can say about it. It doesn't seem as though a lot of thought's been put into it. If I'd like to see something increased or made better with this, it would be this waist pack, this waist strap. It's just, as I say, it's just a bit like it was just thrown in, but you know, it suits its purpose. If you need something to stabilize it, it will stabilize it, you know, it will do that. On the front, this front pocket has a really large rain hood. You find that all of these zippers, none of them are the AquaGuard zippers, but they are huge, all YKK zippers all the way through. In fact, well, it doesn't say on them, but I can guarantee these are either size 8s or size 9s, probably even 10s. They're all nice and simple to pull, and they all have 550 paracord that's had the innards removed from it. But the rain hoods over the zips are massive, so what if you know you are worried about water getting in there, it will just flush straight across the top. On the front there is a little morale patch, and I decided to, in honour of the country that this was made in, this is solely made in the USA. I've decided to put the all black Star Spangled Banner on there. Coming around the sides, you do have a few little lashing points that you can add things to if you did want to. You then have this main compartment, which is this section here, which we'll come back to in a second. On the sides, you've got two compression straps. These are actually really useful because it's such a large pack. Being able to cinch it down is a massive benefit. The compression straps though are just for this main compartment. So if you've got anything in here that you need to make sure doesn't move around while it's in there, you can do that perfectly with these compression straps. Now unfortunately the compression straps don't go out onto this front bit, so if you need to condense the whole pack, it will only really condense this back panel compared to the front panel if there's stuff in there that are moving around. Now, I mean, it's not going to take much if you did want to move some of the bits out of here and, you know, manage what you've got in a little bit better, but it doesn't compress the whole pack itself. You then have some zips. The zips go roughly about 3, maybe 4 inches, which is what, 10 centimeters, 15 centimeters away from the bottom. So it's not full clamshell. Personally, I quite like it when it's not full clamshell, mainly because if I started to open these zips and this was heavy, the whole thing would just, you know, empty right in front of you. But you have these on both sides. All of the plastics on these are Duraflex plastics, and nice and tough. You know, I love the thing with Duraflex is you get that amazing click when you put it in. Both sides are the same. So on both sides you've got those compression straps. This side you've got the compression straps as well. Now hopefully you'll notice on the front there's no sort of London Bridge trading or anything like that. The only bit that you get here is on the side where you can see you've got the LBT made in the USA and the lion that they have on their crest, which I quite like. I think it just makes it look really nice and subtle, and at the end of the day it's a military backpack, so they're not really going to want anything that screams out, "Hey, I'm over here," kind of thing. On the bottom there is some lashing points which are pass-through, so you can attach things here to the bottom as well, and there is a very generous grommet so that if any water gets into here then it will just pass straight through. The last little bit really is to talk about this top bit and the grab handle. Now I don't generally tend to spend a lot of time talking about grab handles, but as far as grab handles go, I mean, it's like an Abrams tank, really. It is. Now this grab handle really is designed for loads. You can put a lot into here. It looks like 1.5 or 2 inch webbing that is then stitched to fold through, so it makes it a little bit more comfortable on your hand. And then over both sides it then goes over the pack, and you've got a large box stitch on each side. But really it's what's hidden inside that gives this strength. A lot of these, you'll find that if you were to pull that and this material here was to rip, then there's nothing keeping this on the rest of the pack. And I've only ever seen this in a few other packs like Tasmanian Tiger. But what they've done is on the inside here, they've used this just in, well, I don't even know what material this is, but it's ridiculous. So it goes all the way down to here, right down here where this compression strap is. So from here all the way across to this side as well, this is all reinforced and then stitched into the actual construction of the pack. So what you've got is, rather than just having a grab handle that is stitched to here, this whole section from here to here is a reinforced grab handle. So if you're in the military, you know, unfortunately you need to grab somebody, you need to make sure that you can pull them and you need to get them out of the way of some danger, you can hold on to this, and I'm quite positive that if needs be you could drag someone for a mile and it's not going to have any issues with being able to take that weight. For an EDC kind of thing, you know, it's great that I can pack this with whatever I want and it's never going to fail on me. It's probably a little bit overkill for EDC, but as I've always said with this pack, this is not designed for EDC. This is a die-hard military backpack. So onto the secondary front compartment, there is another large rain hood to make sure that any water sweeps across the top. An ambi open which comes down, hopefully you can see maybe about 2/3 of the way down, which again just gives you great access to what's in here. What I've done is there's a 1 litre bottle which fits in perfectly. I've got a hat which I really should be wearing today, a frisbee just to show, you know, what you can fit in here, but I've already given you the dimensions of this so you can fit quite a lot in. I've tried this to fit in my MacBook Pro. It doesn't quite fit. It fits in that way, but not that way. I've tried it with my daughter's 13-inch laptop, and you can fit a 13-inch laptop in here, but I'd always say check those dimensions just in case, because some of them may be longer or wider depending on, you know, the ratio of your screen. On the inside here, as far as organisation, there's no organisation. It's just a main pocket that you can put stuff into, and it's in there. If you're the type that needs to have a panel in here to put pens in and, you know, that sort of stuff, it hasn't got any of that. It's just a large dump pouch. You tend to find that a lot with, I mean, especially this pocket and the large pocket behind. As far as organisation is concerned, there's no organisation in here. They're just large pockets that you can put things into. If you're the type of person that likes to compartmentalise things inside with your own pouches and you've got your own sort of system, then you can perfectly fit that sort of stuff in here. is it Greyman Tactical do those molle inserts. These, I mean, they would go perfectly into this sort of thing. You can put it in, it would add some rigidity to it as well. Now I've just opened this large back panel. As mentioned before, the large back panel has got those really nice YKK zips, another generous rain hood at the top to make sure that you don't get any water in here, and then you get this pocket that opens. It comes down probably, I don't know, to about 20% of the way to the bottom, so that you can open it up and you can get into what you need, but it's not full clamshell. So I've got Teddy with me today. I've tried to do this so it's more like an EDC, what you would do maybe on a daily basis. You've gone into work, you think it might be raining, so you put in an extra jacket just in case, but you know you're going to go to the gym tonight, so there's a large towel. I've got some extra kicks in there, and then I've also added a poncho in here, or a large military tarp, which again, you know, it all just fits into this larger section, and this is predominantly what this section is going to get used for. Across the top here you'll be able to see that there are 3 hook and loop bits that you can put stuff into it. Mainly, you know, these are for, there is a large hydration panel here at the back. You might be able to fit a laptop in here, but you know, as I've said from the beginning, this isn't an EDC bag, although I'm using it for EDC. This really is for military use, so this is for a hydration bladder to go into, but you might find that some laptops do fit in there. On the front panel here, there is no organisation, there's no internal pockets. Again, on the inside here, there's no additional organisation, but you can see there's the grommet that goes through. Now when it's packed down and there's nothing in it, it actually condenses down really small, which is one of the reasons that I quite like this for EDC. With these compression straps, you really can bring this in close to you. The material that it's made from, although I've tried to look on the London Bridge Trading website, it doesn't specifically say what material that it's made from, so I'm guessing that it must be some sort of ballistics nylon. And as far as guessing a denier, again, it doesn't say, but knowing the type of bag that it is, it's got to be between 500 to 1000 D to make sure that it's tough. I've been using this a lot out in the moorlands. There are a lot of millstone grit, which is a very coarse rock. I've been throwing this on it, and it really is like brand new. There's no nicks or pulls. All of the stitching is absolutely amazing on it. I've got a little bit of dirt there, but that was from today. But when you've got less in it, it really is a great pack to be able to cinch down to make it a lot smaller than it needs to be. Right, so let's just move that bit over. Hopefully you can see now. So the straps itself on the suspension system take advantage of this reinforced section here at the top where the grab handle is in. So when these are stitched into that, and they are in there fast. So depending on whether you've got a light load or a heavy load, you can have a lot of confidence that knowing that these aren't going to come out. Rather than having any sort of load adjusters at the top, they're just stitched directly into the top of the backpack. But what I've found is it does actually sit quite close to your back. I've not really felt having a large weight in here that I've needed to pull it closer and over my shoulders, which maybe this is designed, this is how this geometry works, that it's tapered to the top. Maybe that's an old-fashioned way of not having to have those adjusters on there. There is a piece of webbing that comes all the way down from the top to the bottom, which is where the quick release buckles come in. There's a D-ring 3/4 of the way down, and then getting close to the bottom you have a sternum strap. The back section itself, this is most probably designed to be worn over something in the military, so there isn't as much ventilation as you would get with a lot of other EDC backpacks. I found that it is very comfortable, whatever's in here. Actually inside the pack, I know what's in here. This is more of this 3/8 of an inch clothed cell foam, which it really does stop any bulky items on the inside like sticking into your back whilst you're doing things. An extra thing that I asked about in London Bridge, they actually contacted me back about this. So you've got an extra hard metal strap here, or at least a hard metal fixture. What you can use is, you know, you've got your standard quick release straps, but if for any reason this did fail on you or was damaged, then you can unwind this and you can use the hard wire strap. Now this is designed mainly, again, you know, if you're out in the field or you're doing some sort of exercise and this breaks, you need to be able to continue with this, and then you can just hardwire it into this metal fixture. But even just for traveling, it made me think, well, if I'm traveling and this does go on me, then that's a backpack that might be full of stuff that I've only got one strap that I know to use now. That it's actually going to be a massive advantage that I can just take that bit off, strap it into this, and I'll be able to carry on with my business as usual. How does it feel when it's on? Well, it feels like a 30-litre backpack. You know, it's comfortable. These straps, now, whether it's the closed cell foam that's in there, I mean, I love a good sternum strap. I really do love a good sternum strap. I like that it just takes a little bit of the load kind of off the pinch from your shoulders. But this is probably one of the first packs that I've tested out that feels actually quite nice without the sternum strap. It sits very well. The shoulders are nice and cushioned. Riding on your back, for me, it fits perfectly. The back contours, so at the moment it doesn't have any sort of rigidity or back panel to it, just purely that closed cell foam that's in there. So it does mould and kind of contour to the shape of your back, and just generally feels like a great backpack. So definitely very impressed with this backpack. I think what I've found with this is, you see that made in the USA logo, and it comes with a certain level of understanding that you're going to get a quality piece. Now that's not to say that a lot of the stuff that I reviewed from outside of the US isn't great stuff, but the people of the US, and especially here with the London Bridge Trading Inc., you can see that they make sure that that bar is very high and they keep to that, and that's definitely what you get with this. Is it the perfect EDC backpack? No, it really isn't. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, because it's not designed for EDC. If you can look around little things like maybe some of the organisation on the inside, it doesn't have a dedicated laptop pocket. I mean, really, that's it as far as EDC is concerned. Wow, there's no organisation panel to put my pens in. Get yourself a pencil case. There's a lot that you can fit in this. This is a great, I've seen some reviews online where people have used this as a college bag, mainly because they've got so much books, folders, that sort of stuff, that they've rammed them into this, and they've been able to carry it around all with them. This would be, and again, another one that would be really good for when I'm traveling with work, that I can put as much as I want in here, with the security that the suspension system is absolutely bomb-proof and it's not going to fail on me. And even if it does fail on me, there's even plan Bs built into it to make sure that I can carry on doing the things that I need to do whilst on site abroad with work. It's probably a really good point to point this out as well. So if you're watching this if you're watching this today, there is a Father's Day sale coming up with London Bridge Trading Company. So you'll probably find out, London Bridge Trading Incorporated, or Inc. So there are some deals on there at the moment. This isn't in any sort of partnership with LBT, but it would be really good of me to point out that there is a sale on at the moment. Definitely also check out the sales. Whenever there is a Memorial Day, or whenever it's 4th of July, there'll probably be a sale coming up. All of those sort of major American holidays, then you'll find that they generally tend to do a sale where a lot of their gear is quite dramatically reduced in price. I think, when did I buy this? I bought this in February or March. What happens then? Anyway, there was another thing that happened then, which I got this reduced in price and had this sent to the UK. The shipping is actually quite reasonably priced as well. So what I'll do is I'll leave some links in the description below so that you can see more from them, and also their social media accounts. I'll also leave my social media accounts here as well. If at any point you did like this content, then please feel free to like, subscribe and share, you know the deal. But hey, for now, stay safe, stay Moorlander and stay EDC.